Hello financial programmers, I'm 𝐸𝐵𝑉ik Dashora and I'm back with a new video and some new learnings. My camera just got broken today, so I won't be able to show my face today, but it's fine. First of all, I apologize to everyone because I was not able to be very active on YouTube since last a few months, I think a couple of months. But now I'm back. Since last few months, I'm working on multiple trading strategies. And this gave me a motivation to actually make some videos on some other, I would say, programming language than Python, which is Pine Script. I'll talk about each and every aspect of Pine Script, what is Pine Script, how it gets integrated with Tradingview, etc. In this video and in upcoming videos as well, I'm going to make a playlist of many videos where I'll be covering things like how to use Pine Script. That's the first video, which is this video, and then in future I'll be talking about how different indicators can be used in the Pine Script and how we can make our own indicators, how we can combine multiple indicators. I'll make some videos on some strategy, like how to build a strategy, an easy strategy, a basic strategy like RSI or something much more complex, etc. We'll also explore some of the already existing scripts of the strategies that are already available and how we can use them. Then we will I'll make I would say a separate video on building a strategy using multiple indicators in future, and then I'll be talking about much more things. Yeah, so it's going to be a big playlist, and if you're my subscriber, just like stay updated. If you are not my subscriber, I would request each and every one of you to hit on that red button, which is subscribe button, and also click on the bell icon, because there is a lot of things that are going to come on this channel now. The title of this video is how to use Pine Script Tradingview version 5 smartly, and yes, definitely we are going to learn it in a smart way. I will not talk about all the, I would say, different functionalities that are of no use or that you won't be requiring at any point of time. I'll just talk about all the things that are actually important, because I understand most of my crowd are actually people from finance background and who are learning programming. So I'll just try to keep each and everything as simple as possible. We'll cover all the important aspects of this Pine Script editor. On my Patreon page, actually, I have introduced some new things here, which is discuss trading strategies with me and some exclusive Pine Script strategies that I have built. I work with multiple clients, and I assure each and everyone that I will not disclose any confidential information. But yeah, there are some things that I have built it for myself that I can definitely share. So yeah, I'll be doing that for this medal, which is the God medal. There are other medals as well, such as angels, humans, etc. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to join this community. So now I'll directly jump to the Pine Script and the Tradingview platform. There are multiple functionalities on Tradingview. On the left hand side, on the right hand side, you can see, and this video is not made for that, because these are some basic functionalities that I think you can explore yourself. What I'll be talking about is this little thing down below, which is the Pine Script editor, Pine editor, where we will be writing some basic codes to make some indicators, that is technical indicators or some strategies, and then we'll do backtesting of those strategies, and we'll see how those strategies have done with I would say with time. So the people who are new to Tradingview platform, guys, this is it's an amazing platform for like doing some chart analysis, to do some technical analysis, and you just need to write tradingview.com, and you'll have this page in front of you, and then after that you can select any ticker here. For example, I have selected Apple here. If you're from India, you can select, say, Nifty. So after you select Nifty 50, you can see Nifty graph is in front of you, and then you can do your analysis. I'll come back to Apple, which is AAPL, and all the options that are with this, I would say, on the top bar are this one, for example. So I would say the interval that you consider to make the candlesticks can be selected here. So it's 1 day selected here. We can select, say, for example, 4 hours. So you'll have a new candlesticks by this one. And then indicators on this, you can actually go here and write any sort of indicators that you want to be a part of your analysis. For example, moving average. So if you click on the moving average, you can see the line graph of moving average in front of you. And now These are some basic usage of TradingView, and it has no relation with the programming, but our channel is financial programming. Let's come to the most important part of this video, which is introducing the Pine Script editor. So basically, as you guys would be already familiar with Python, for example, because I make videos specifically on Python. This programming language, which is Pine Script, is the programming language that is used on TradingView platform. So you can see on the bottom there are some there's a script written here, and this is the script that we can actually use to implement some things on the chart that is above, and then do the analysis, some of the analysis that you want actually on the chart which is above. And then if you are making a strategy, there is a panel of strategy tester, other options which are available such as trading panel, etc. We'll talk about each and everything in future videos as well, because I'm making a couple of videos just for the strategy side, I would say strategy functionality of the TradingView. So each and every indicator that are a part of TradingView platform actually is written on Pine Script. So for example, in this one which is MA9, which is moving average, what we can do here is on the settings we can change the length of the moving average, etc. But yeah, what if we want to see the code that is written behind it? So there's a source code here. If you click here, you can see on the bottom there is a source code. On the right hand side you can click on this maximize panel to maximize this window, and you can see the entire code of moving average that you can use. Now in future we'll be making our own indicators, but yeah, definitely if we require some of the information that we don't want to write, we can just come to the already written technical indicators, and we can just copy and paste some of the lines from here. So maybe like in future I might be interested in, say, these two lines, for example, right? So I will just copy this one and then paste it somewhere else. So yeah, I'll minimize the panel and let me just write a code, for example, and let me tell you one thing, like how we can start writing any of your code on the Pine Script. So on the right hand side you can see the open window, right? So if you click on this one, you can see there are multiple options that are available, right? Moving average, the one that is already open. If you click on the my script, you will see all the scripts that I have saved for myself, built-in scripts. There's an option of indicator, strategy, and library. These are the three most important functionalities of the Pine Script. So if I click on indicator, you can see on the code has changed on the left hand side, right? I can click on this untitled script and then save it here. For example, if I write say EMA code, right, save. Now if I click on open, you can see my EMA code is actually present here, and this will be a part of my script as well. So EMA code, right? The first two lines that are already available, let me just maximize it again. The first two lines are actually commented. As you can see, they are in gray font, and if you remember, on Python we need to write hash to make it a comment. In this case we have to write 2/ to do the same. Another thing that we can do actually here is, for example, I'm just writing my name 𝐻𝐵vik Dashora, and if I want to comment it, just press Ctrl and the / key. It will comment the entire line. And another thing that is very, very important for you guys to understand is that this line, it looks like a commented line, but it is not actually, because in the start of all the codes we need to define. Let me just remove all the commented thing. So in the start of any code we need to define the version of the Pine Script editor that you are using, and the version that we are using, actually it's the most updated version. It is version 5. We had multiple versions, like 4 different versions in the past, and I'm quite sure that you won't be able to find a lot of information on version 5 because it is quite new. It was launched, I think, few months back only, but yeah, it's absolutely fine. I'll try to cover all the things that are actually important for you guys to understand. And in this unfortunately all the different versions are very, very different from each other. For example, version 4 is very different from version 5. I'll just give an example. In order to write an indicator, we need to start our code with indicator and then introducing the name, etc. If we were using version 4, this won't be working. For that we'll have to write study, right, and then a lot other things would be different. So I'm not interested in version 4 because the functionalities that are available in version 5 are much more than the functionalities that were available on version 4. So let's stick to version 5. And just remember, in the beginning of any code that you write, you'll have to write this thing, which is / /version is equal to 5. Now, in order to understand a lot of things, we'll have to refer to the documentations that are provided by Pine Script. And on this 3 dots, actually, you can see a lot of things such as Pine Script documentation, Pine Script references pop-up, editor, shortcuts, etc. Now, I have done a lot of research and I have collected all the important links that you guys would actually require. And I don't think you would have to like go anywhere else apart from this one. So the first one, and I'll be definitely sharing all these links on the description box, such that like you guys just can click and get to that particular link. The first one is the user manual or the documentation of version 4. Now the reason actually I have kept this thing in the description box is that this documentation is very detailed documentation, and there are a lot of things that are not mentioned in this one. The second one is the version 5 documentation. You can see there are not a lot of things that are mentioned in the version 5 documentation as of now, because I think they are still making it or something. So we might be required to refer to the version 4, and then we'll have to switch to version 5. As I mentioned in the beginning, version 4 starts with study. If you want to like write any indicator or something, version 5 starts with indicator. But yeah, if we are stuck with something, then we might be required to refer to the version 4, and then after that we'll check it on version 5. If it's available on the version 5 user manual, it's good. Otherwise we'll have to change our code from version 4 to version 5 in future. And there's another very good link which I could find, was that how to convert your version 4 to version 5. There are actually 2 ways to do this thing. One way is you can refer to the link that I have mentioned, which is this one. And for example, if I go here, so you can see ATR was just ATR and then parenthesis in version 4. In version 5, it's ta.atr and then parenthesis, etc. So there are many things that have changed, and you can refer to this particular guide in order to change your code from version 4 to version 5. Another thing that you can do is, for example, let me just write it in version 4 and then study. So if you click on the these 3 dots, there is an option of convert to version 5. Now actually I tried it on multiple codes, and if the code is a bit more complicated, then it sometimes find it very difficult to convert it, and it actually messed up everything in the past. So what I do is I manually change I would say the code if that is required. If I say, for example, if I find some script already available in version 4 and I'm writing that code in version 5, then I do it manually. Like I switch each and everything manually from version 4 to version 5. Now the next link, which is a very important link again, is this one, which is codify.net. This is a platform where like a lot of things related to Tradingview Pine Script will be, I would say, available. So for example, if I click on the indicators, you can see there are multiple articles or blogs that these guys have written on the indicators. So for example, the average true range ATR indicator coded Pine Script, Tradingview Pine. If you click here, for example, you will be redirected to the different link, and you can see the entire code of how they have written this particular indicator. Now you can see there are multiple references of some past versions as well. You'll have to be, I would say, aware that you might be required to change the code to version 5. But the main idea is you just need to understand the logic, and then if you understand the logic, definitely you can write that code in version 5 as well. Don't worry at all. In future, we'll deal with all these problems as well in future. The next one is the operators that we can use in version 5. So you can see there are different types of operators, and some built-in variables that you can see how to use different types of colors. For example, color.navy, color.gray, etc. that we'll be using in the code in future. And then different types of functionalities that we can incorporate. Now I found a very good website of pinecoders.com where there are a lot of FAQs and codes related to that one, and we can definitely refer to those things as well in future. If I click on the strategies, you can see there are multiple things that are available here. I'll be using all these material in future as well. So yeah, please just bookmark all the links that I have mentioned in the description box. This would be actually very useful for you in future. And the last one is of the backtesting in the trading engine. And so we'll be referring to this one as well in future. So yeah. Now another thing, actually I'll be writing an indicator code in future in the next video, where I'll be making some indicators, I'll be using some indicators, but let me just show you one thing. So for example, I just want to like write the simple moving average indicator. I want to display that indicator on the graph, for example. So what I will write it here is say indicator my script. There are many more things that can be provided in this parenthesis that I'll be talking about in the future videos. And then in plot, I can just write ta.sma and say, for example, close and 20, right? This is the way we write the moving average code. And if I just press Ctrl S and add it to the chart, you can see the SMA has been put over here. If I just write, say, overlay is equal to true, remove this one, and then again add to the chart, you can see this particular indicator has been put on the actual chart. Now you can see that it's just a 2-line code that I have used it over here. And why I have used ta.sma? Because like it's technical analysis, ta it refers to technical analysis, SMA is simple moving average. I have made the simple moving average on close, and the length is 20. This is just one technical indicator that we are using. In future we'll be doing it for other indicators as well. Now here, whenever we write, so for example, I have written ta dot and I'm confused. For example, I don't know what is the function that is required for the simple moving average, right? Then in that case, you just need to press Ctrl and space, right? So if I do it like this, you can see all the different types of functions that I can use here in this one, and I can actually check where is SMA. I'll be like, yo, okay, I have got SM, and then you can see this one, and then just press enter, you can see ta.sma. Now again, here I can just press Ctrl space to validate that I have written the correct function. Now the next thing is that if you just hover over this particular one, you can see I would say a suggestion comes up in the black box where it's written I would say the exact definition of what is SMA. SMA is function returns the moving average, that is the sum of last y values of x divided by y. And what are the two things that are required? Syntax is ta.sma. The first thing is source. You want simple moving average on what? In our case, we did it on close. We could do it on high, low, etc. And the length that is required for that. So we need to provide two things here. And then in the end, we'll have the output in a float format, which would be a series float format. And then we can actually put it on the graph to see the actual moving average over there. There are many more shortcuts that are available. You just need to click here and see, click on the Pine Editor keyboard shortcuts. And you can see you'll see multiple things. So first thing is quick search is Ctrl K and etc. So it's very good if you are actually familiar with these shortcuts, because this will actually reduce the overall time that you would require to write any code on the Pine script. I use it on a very frequent basis, and I would recommend each and everyone to go through it and start using these shortcuts, because these shortcuts will help you a lot in future. Now, for example, I have written a code on SMA, and it's a huge code, right? And I want to change SMA to EMA, exponential moving average, for example. So the one way is to change each and everything manually. That actually can take a lot of time. The second way is to just copy this, right? The SMA. I've just copied SMA, or just let's copy the entire ta.sma. Control F, right? It will ask for some permission, allow. Then it will come here, and over here on the left hand side you can see this one, and then replace this with EMA. Right. So let me just do it like this, and there are two options. We just want to replace the next one or everything. So I'll just, for example, I want to replace everything. So I'll just click on this one, and you can see my ta.sma has been changed to ta.ema, and I can again add this to the chart to reflect that thing on that I would say on the actual chart as well. Now you can see there are two scripts running here. Now the reason there are two scripts, because I didn't save this one, so let me just save this one, close the previous script, and then add it to the chart. So you can see the final one would be the EMA. of close, and the length is 20. Now what if I make a mistake? For example, I have like put 3 parentheses here, and like if for example I add this thing to the graph, right? So there will be an error. The line will go. You can see error compile script. And if you like on the bottom, if you see there is this one. Let me just maximize this screen. And on the bottom you can see that it actually gives the line on which the error has happened. So it has mentioned, for example, if I'm on my cursor is on line 1, for example, and if I click on this error, which is line 4, it will automatically bring me to the actual error line that is over there, syntax error at input, and then you can see it is actually mentioning like telling you that you have put an extra parenthesis in the end, so you'll have to remove that one. And if I press Ctrl S again, which is saving this Pine script, you can see it has been saved, and I think it would be added to the chart as well, which is actually you can see in front of you. Now there's an amazing functionality of Pine script, which is actually it saves all historical versions as well that we have done. So for example, by saying version I mean the scripts that we have written in the past, right? Not this version. So you can see here we have saved our code 7 times. And for example, if in future I want to refer to the 4th code the code that I've written on the 4th time, so you can see you can have multiple versions that you have saved in the past, and you might be required to use some historical thing that you have already written that you say, for example, have deleted as of now, and you want to refer it to that thing again. Then you can actually just click on this one and click on the say 1, 2, 3 and refer to the historical one. So for example, the second one, say 2.0 is actually 2.0 revision is actually referring to the SMA, because at that time I had written code on SMA, and the last one is on EMA. I think that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial I'll be talking about indicators, and then after that I'll be talking about strategies. If you are still watching this video, I at least deserve a like, because on the basis of the number of likes I'll be actually making a decision on how extensive this playlist should be, because I have never done anything on the Pine script programming language. I don't know what will be the demand, so I just would like each and everyone who is interested in this thing to like this video and comment something good, and also share it with your friends. And all my new viewers, I would request each and everyone to subscribe to this channel and stay updated, because there are a lot of things that are going to come in future, and I don't want you guys to miss those things. Again, if you are interested, you can join my Patreon members, I would say community. This is how you will support me, and also you will get benefits of these types of the services that I provide here. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.